It's the most wonderful time of the year. It's time to shit on some fucking albums. Hell yes. It's time for the worst albums of the year, but not in my opinion. This is all your guys. So we're going to be talking about what albums you goddamn despise from this year. I asked you on the community post and you fucking delivered. Goddamn 47 of you. So we're going to talk about some shitty ass albums. Some I may agree on, some I may not. But I want you guys down below to write down if you agree with any of these picks. What do you think about these albums as a whole? And also, what albums do you hate from the year 2021? It's coming to a close, but you know, we've had some stinkers, so let's fucking slam them. First up, we have, I'm not going to be able to say the names properly, but Roosdia from 4 hours ago, wow. He said he's not been that hard on albums, but he was really underwhelmed with Architects and not a fan of the new Leprous. I wasn't a fan of Architects, I'll agree with you on that one. Leprous I kind of enjoyed. It wasn't as good as some of the other stuff. You know, Bilateral, come on. You can't get as good as that fucking mermaid goat milking itself like lemonade. Like, how can you not? Come on, that album was fucking great. The music's amazing as well, obviously. But yeah, I can kind of agree with that one. Next up, Deadly Assassin says he doesn't have time to listen to terrible albums. Now, I haven't listened to, like, here's a spoiler alert for you guys, for you fucking fucks. I haven't heard any of Psycho Sinner's albums. They released 9 albums, and I'm pretty sure they'd all be my worst of the year, but I haven't listened to any of them, because I know they're dog shit. I've heard Psychosexuals, Torture the Faith. I don't want to go through that 9 more times, so fuck them. Just go watch Metal Meltdown's reviewing all 9 of them, and then you're pretty much up to speed, because they're all fucking trash. Let's move on. Jonathan Mackay says, Senjutsu by Iron Maiden. This is a controversial one. It's not bad, but all the other albums they've listened to this year, they've surpassed it. He forgot it even existed. Now, there's a big divide on this one. Do you love them? Do you hate them? Iron Maiden's kind of like a Marmite at the moment. Loads of people love the proggy stuff. Loads of people don't. Even calling it proggy stuff gets people in like a little rabble. For me, I love it. I love newer Maiden. Probably more than older Maiden now, to be honest. I'd rather put on Brave New World than fucking Killers or Number of the Beast. In my opinion. I'm probably wrong. And I'll probably get screamed at. But fuck you, I don't care. Let's move on. So I don't agree with that. Aaron Rose says Rivers of Nile, the work. Was hoping for Where Owls Know My Name Part 2, but got a shitty metalcore album. Didn't like it. Awful album. Giving it a 0.01 out of 10. Jesus fucking H Christ. That is a low score. It destroyed my ears, and that's a bad thing. I'd put it in one of the most disappointing. Probably not the worst. Probably not worst of the year, but most disappointing. It was on my list as well. Yeah, I loved Where Else Know My Name, and I loved the albums previous to that. This one, experimental, give him credit, wasn't for me. Seely says, I hate it every time I die. I haven't actually heard that yet. I haven't actually heard that one yet, so I need to dive into that one. Ben Riley, another one for Senjutsu, says it's not terrible, it's very good. What? It's not terrible, it is very good. Okay. That we're talking about hated albums here, but I agree with you, it's very good. Another one for Rivers of Nile, the English Flannel, says sounds like they want to be progressive deathcore. Yeah, progressive metal shouldn't be tied ideas over again. That's regressive metal. Clever bastard. They lost the focus, ranks on the top floor of shit towers 1 and 2. You guys are fucking nasty. I love it. This is great. This is what the Christmas spirit is all about. Slamming shit. Being mean. Come on. This is what it's about. How the fuck am I going to say your name? Jimalapa Japan says Spirit Box is awful. Never been a fan of Rivers of Nile either. Sounds like overproduced new metal. Don't care how virtuoso the musos are. Death metal shouldn't sound like that. I think it should sound how it... I don't know. You can experiment, you know. I love Ulcerate, that's experimentation. Deathspell in black metal, that's experimentation. They do it good. Gorguts and my hands kind of like disappearing into my jumper. But yeah, Spirit Box. I like Spirit Box, but the new one... didn't do much for me. Kind of disappointing. I prefer the singles collections. New one was okay. Didn't hate it. Alfie.665 says, Jesus, that Pestilence album was mediocre. Listened to it the day it came out. Never been a massive fan, but I was curious, and it's just crap. Painfully unoriginal. The production meant that listening to it for just half an hour gave me ear fatigue, and every song had a stupid name with a bunch of V's in. The musicianship was fine, but they just need to do something slightly new or different. Doesn't help that Patrick is a massive tool who took to Twitter to slag you off. Thumbs down. I mean, I didn't mind the Pestilence album, even though he did slag me off on Facebook. I didn't mind it, but it was definitely not amazing. I've definitely not returned to it. The earlier stuff's better. I like the spirit that you got my back. Good on you. But yeah, I'd say it's in disappointing category. It was fine. Probably not worst of the year, but it's fine. David Hassan says, your mum. That's correct. She is the worst of the year. Come on. Euronymous says, Euronymous, come back from the fucking dead. The Dungeon Wolf album. This thing makes Psycho Sinner feel amazing. Now that's impossible. Never heard Dungeon Wolf, but that's impossible. But I have heard people say it's terrible. Metal Meltdown said it's one of the worst of the year as well. Jamie Horsley said it's one of the worst of the year as well. So maybe you're onto something here, because everyone seems to shit on it. Stefan says Fairy-on Leviathan. Meh. Yeah, I wasn't too big into that either, buddy. Wasn't too big. Seaman, worst swallow, says Exodus' new album, whatever it's called, nobody cares about them anymore and they don't do anything to change that. The current state is truly pathetic. Holy crap. Now, I wasn't a big fan of the newest one either. If you saw my ranking recently, it's kind of lower down on the tier list. I don't hate it though. I don't think it's the worst of the year. But it's certainly disappointing. Some people say it's the best of the year. Have they been snorting crack? What's going on? They must be on something that I'm not, because it's definitely not the best Exodus album. It's definitely not one of the best of the year, so yeah. Against the Wicked Deathly Doom, says minus a few songs, Architects was a letdown. Wasn't that interesting. Don't know if Tetrarch released an album this year, but I'm shouting them out too. And that band literally just rehashes Slipknot and Core material and does it worse than both. Wow. Harsh words there. Very nice. Very nice. Jack Riot 100 says Rob Zombie, the overly long, convoluted, cringy, try-hard album title. It is a very long album title, you're right there. Whoever told Rob Zombie that Rama Lama Lou didn't sound like a newborn wailing needs to be fired. Actually, whoever told Rob himself that the vocals were good needs to be fired. Songs are shit, lyrics are shit, album is shit. Not a lot of stuff was offensively bad this year, but this takes the cake for me. A lot of shit throwing around here. We're in a monkey pen. I love it. Astolfo, the Rider of Black. You sound like some anime villain I'm gonna encounter in the dark of night and then get stabbed while drinking chalky milk. It says Dungeon Wolf. This is a fucking essay, so I'm not gonna read it out. Let's just see if we can pick stuff up. The album cover looks like a rejected 50 Shades of Grey Twilight fanfiction cover. Wow, okay. He's going hard. What the hell? This album feels like the manifestation of Amy Schumer's vagina humour. It feels like it belongs on Comedy Central show in an episode from somewhere like The Big Bang Theory or How I Met Your Mother. It's beyond awful. Everything wrong with boomers trying to make metal. I hate this record with a passion. And as bad as something like Limp Bizkit is, at least they have some kind of talent. Wow, just reading the section of that, slayed it. Fucking slayed it. Absolutely brutal. Hugh Mant says, worst for me was Cannibal Corpse. Sounded like just their other shit. It didn't. Oh, what are you talking about? You haven't fucking listened to it, you fucking cunt. I'm joking. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. His is wrong, though, because this one sounds nothing like Red Before Black. And if you listen to them back to back, they sound nothing alike. It sounds nothing like Gallery of Suicide or Eating Back to Life. Like, I don't understand. Where's your ears? How can you hear the new one, which is way more guitar orientated? Like, there's so many more. Like, you got Eric Rutan, in the band. Like, it just feels refreshed, and there's a reason it's on people's end of the year list, is because it's like a revitalized Cannibal Corpse. It doesn't sound anything like the other stuff. Questy's triggered. But yeah, you can hate what you want. This video is about hating stuff, so good on you. My favourites were Spirit Box. Oh my god. Stormkeep. I'll give you Stormkeep. That's one of my favourites of the year. Woad. Very good. Eyes of Purgatory. Very good. Gatecreeper. Nah. That's going to trigger people. They went grindcore. I don't really like grindcore, so that's just personal bias. I love the long song, though. When they went fucking long, that was great. But it's an EP, so I don't really count it. And Seven Sisters. Cool. Don't agree with the Cannibal Corpse bashing, but whatever. Joe User says Senjutsu by Iron Maiden. Who told Maiden that overly long mid-tempo songs are their strong suit? I'll tell them. I'll fucking tell them. What else we got? Ziltoid, my good friend Ziltoid the Omniscient, has a fucking list here. This is loads of people. Couple of dishonorable mentions, but then the real deal let's get to. Number 5 is Ice Nine Kills, The Silver Scream 2, Welcome to Horrorwood. I really like this album. I don't know why, it's fun. It's in that kind of, it's in that kind of like Ailstormy, Sabaton-y, like stupid fucking Deathclock, like, woo! It's fun, I love it, I'll play it. The Chucky song is amazing, so I disagree with that. Ministry, The Moral Hygiene, heard a lot of people say that's shit, so yeah. Agent Steel, No Other Gods Before Me, Attila, Closure, and Atreus #1 with Baptize. He didn't put Limp Bizkit or Psycho Sinner in because that's cheating, and I can kind of agree that is pretty cheating. Everything says, aside from the obvious, Ministry's Moral Hygiene. Expectations were low, and he was still disappointed. Sad times, Everything. Yeah, a lot of agreement there. Blackwater Rust, classic Blackwater, says all 9 Psycho Sinner albums. That's cheating. Blackwater, you lazy. That's cheating. But I agree. I haven't heard them, but I fucking agree. Psychosexual's album was bad enough, so no fucking way I'm listening through any of that shit. Paul Smith says, have you listened to Ethereal Shroud? Yes, it's fucking amazing. That's a band that I fucking love now, and I'm kind of annoyed that it's not on my end of the year list. Oversight on my part. I think we're coming to the end. The worst 9, Emu the Great says the worst 9 are kind of obvious. Yes. Psycho Sinner's gotta take the cake. Nocturnal Heathen, 1184, says pretty much everything except the new Dark Throne. That's weird because the new Dark Throne doesn't sound like a classic Dark Throne. It's very doomier. And I enjoyed the new Dark Throne, but I don't even think it's as good as Old Star. Old Star had catchier songs, so I'm kind of going to disagree with you as much as I love Dark Throne. I think Old Star's better. I think Arctic Thunder's better. But Eternal Hails is still a good album. Best black metal of the year though? Nah, it's up Trillium, mate. That's where it's at. Fraser says, don't know if it's the worst, but Limp Bizkit's was pretty terrible. Yes. Fucking yes. And there we come to it. That's all your hatred into one video. These are all the albums that you guys hated. A lot of picks for Dungeon Wolf, a lot of picks for Architects, and some for Iron Maiden. But yeah, that was a fun little hate-filled video. So I want you guys to put down below, what's your most hated of the year? What albums just made you want to just rip your hair out, bleed from your eyes, and scream until the night collapses? Let me know down below, and we'll see you again on another Quest for Metal.